This is Business Connect. As an entrepreneur, the work environment you provide for your people would definitely have a lot of impact on their productivity. This notion has made entrepreneurs and business people all around the world pay keen attention to the ideal of building a fun work environment. You may have heard of the Google campuses and such concepts as joy mapping and work-life balance. So today on Business Connect, we would be discussing how to create an environment that makes work fun for everyone, including you. And I've got my co-host and business partner, Charles Odi, here with me. How are you doing, Charles?
Very well, very well.
And shortly, we will be joined by a special guest who knows all about creating a fun work environment. We will be right back. Welcome back. My guest today is Marek Zmyslowski. He's the CEO of Jovago for English-speaking West Africa. Now, Jovago is a global hotel booking online portal, probably a platform where you can get the best deals. But what stands out most about Jovago is how much fun they have doing what they do under the leadership of their CEO. Marek, you're welcome to Business Connect.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here, as always.
Yeah, you know, it's always great whenever I see pictures of Jovago, your staff are having so much fun, it's all over social media. Hey, come on. How do you create such a work environment for them?
Well, don't expect posting pictures of sad people. That's the first thing.
Okay,
right?
cool. Yeah, that's true.
I think that what many people tend to forget is that work environment has nothing to do with fancy building on an office. And work environment and creating a nice fun work environment actually starts way before than you may imagine, and it starts with the recruitment of the right people and making sure that people actually are a good fit to positions they're responsible for. And only after you have that done, then you can think about the cool stuff.
Oh, excellent. So let's talk about, first off, how do you find people who are the right fit for a particular company?
You know, whenever you recruit people to a company, the first thing that you need to remember is that there's only so many things you can find out about that particular person when you're talking to that particular person. Nice. And I think that's only 20% of all the important things you need to find out about that particular person. What is very important is also to do a so-called background check and talk to previous employers or peers of that particular person, because you want to know what kind of person that person is to other people. And then again, your recruitment does not end the moment you give that person an offer, because the biggest and the most crucial amount of information you can find out about that particular person is when you start working with him or her.
Excellent. So that spotlights the relevance of probation. Like the recruitment decision is not done until the probation. So you don't end the recruitment decision after the interview. Say, oh, the job.
I could put it that way. But you also have to be very transparent. You say, listen, I think you can be a very good fit for the company. The question is the company a good fit for you? I need to be sure that you are motivated and you're going to love what you are doing. And we're not going to have an answer to that question now. We're going to have that answer in a couple of weeks or in a couple of weeks from now. So both sides need to know what kind of commitment they are going into.
Okay, I know that what Brian is actually talking about is the smile on the faces of your employees, you know, because the job, Jovago, is fun itself, and then they're just excited, they're doing it like they have no other career, other job in this world, and they're just excited about it. Is it because of the environment in which they're functioning from, or is it because you made the right decision at recruiting them?
I think it's both. You know, actually, smile is very important for me. And if there's only one thing you could change in the world, if you chose smile, I think you could change a lot of things in this world. And actually, smile as one word is one of our 5 core values at Jovago. I think, have you ever noticed someone that is sad or slum and just going into a building or government institution and trying to get anything done without a smile? I think we tend to forget about the amazing power of smile.
Exactly, the sheer
even when you
power
talk to someone on the phone.
Of smiling.
You just sound differently, even if it's subconsciously for the other person on the other side of the line. When you smile, you just sound differently, and it helps a lot.
For that reason.
Our people that call our customers, they have mirrors in front of their faces when they call.
So they are smiling all the time, and they practice that smile. Okay,
Yes.
so you know that at Jovago, I mean, I'm talking about Jovago because yes, I did business development for Jovago at some point.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
And then you left me for this.
No, but and I know that people stay because you gave us at the time work hours 9 to 5, but you find people staying up until 8 p.m. You find people staying up until 9 p.m. and they're not complaining about it. You know, and we know that someone once told me that it was a strategy for CEOs because in Google you have Google campuses and the Google's plan is to let you stay and leave whatever it is you're doing and just keep getting trained on the job and then find your work balance on your work. So is that what you do? Did you deliberately leave people to stay extra hours to work?
To be honest, when someone stays day after day, longer hours, for me it's a sign that something is going wrongly. Because I'm not pushing anyone to be 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 or 7 to 3. I like to give my people independence. That also comes with responsibility. I like to manage my team by goals.
Okay.
So if someone stays longer hours, that means that probably a deadline is coming and he needs to work more to meet the goals. And if he has to spend more time than the normal usual work hours, that can mean two things. That person is either doing a wrong job and I should work with that person more to make sure she's working in a more effective way, in a smarter way, or the goal we have set up for that particular person or for that particular team is not achievable. And when you set up two ambitious goals that are actually not achievable, in the long term, you're going to have demotivated people. Because if they don't achieve their goals, even though they work really, really hard and they are convinced they do everything what it takes to achieve that goal, and they still don't do it, you're going to have a demotivated team in the long term.
Fantastic. And talking about managing people with goals, a lot of CEOs try to find out what their employees are doing at all times. They want to know what are you doing by 1 p.m., what are you doing by 12 noon. But with this system, it's like that's not effective. Like that's not more useful because all you need to find out did you achieve the goals or not? How true is that?
Maybe it works for other companies. It does not work for me. I just don't feel comfortable wasting my focus, my time and my energy on checking what people do on that particular hour. Once again, I prefer to manage our teams by goals, and it's their responsibility how they're going to achieve these goals. If the goals are not met, that when you as a line manager or the CEO of the company, you should dive in the daily task of that particular person and find out if the way they do it is proper. And then you're going to quickly find out if they're still working hard but not working smart. And properly, and then you find the reason, you fix it, or you're quickly going to find out that that person is not achieving the goals because it's not working, because that person is not working at all. And you can give her one warning, second warning. You need to find out why that person is not working. It's just because that person is lazy, or maybe she's doing stuff she actually does not love. Then again, you know what to do in a situation like that. If it happens constantly, why would you waste your energy and time on working with a person like that? Use that energy or finding someone better.
Finding somebody better. So it means that in the end, before you begin creating a great work environment, you should apply a lot of time and energy to selecting the right people. Recruitment is key to a fun work environment. Okay, now let's get into the fun work environment. When they're on the team and they're working, and they're having a lot of fun. I see them sometimes, they're playing around, there's a cake in the office, sometimes somebody's doing a birthday, sometimes there's like a costume party or something, and everybody's just excited at Jovago. But how do you get people to balance between, hey, this is work time, and this is playtime? Don't you find that sometimes your staff could get carried away in so much excitement? Yeah,
staff can get carried away, and they especially get carried away when you work with young people, when you work with unexperienced people. There are so many cool things about them. They have the energy, they have the motivation to do big stuff, and they come excited to their office every day. But when you are too friendly, and when your friendliness comes also being too soft or too weak in terms of getting what they are supposed to do from them, that's when you can have a risk, obviously. This is why it's important to be friendly, but at the same time, strict.
So you won't consider yourself a friendly boss?
Upset does not mean strict. Upset means weak. Whenever you see that your boss is upset with you, he's just letting his frustrations outside. Because you are upset, you are angry, you shout when you actually don't know what is happening. Because when you know what's the real reason of your company, your team, or your employee not performing, why would you be upset? You should focus on fixing that problem, not letting your frustration go away.
But at the time, for instance, there was a time we recruited somebody to help us work on our website to upload content to Business Connect, and the person was not doing the work. And this person kept on promising me, oh, I will get it done, I'll get it done, I'll get it done. And I tried to have a conversation with her as to why are you not doing the work? And she, oh, you know what? It's my fault. I will get it done. But then she still wasn't doing the work. So I got upset. I didn't flip in front of her. I flipped in front of him. But then I really did get upset. But how would you explain? And a lot of CEOs are there. They really get upset at their people because they don't get the job done.
Did you ever agree with that person? What would happen if that job is not done? Because many times we agree on something to be done by then, but we never agree what's going to happen
if it's not done.
If it's not done.
Yes,
and if you don't have those two sides of every agreement, then it doesn't make sense. It's like building a simple contract. Every lawyer will tell you. You define a time and place of that particular action to happen, but you also have to define an action that will take place if that first action won't happen.
Doesn't happen. Yeah.
We had the client one time who was the CEO of a pretty young company. 70% of the employees were below the age of 26.
Just like Jovago.
Just like Jovago. And then they were having a lot of fun time, and then he needed them to get serious. And most times he finds himself yelling in the office. He's always screaming, this is not done, this is not done, this is not done, this is not done. How do you demarcate that time? How do you find the balance between this is time for work
and this is the time for play? How do you switch? Because
especially with young people, because these are young people, these are inexperienced people, you know. And then as an SME, as in small business, those are the kind of people you employ when you want to start up, because you cannot really afford to pay the professionals. So you get these people and you train them. But then how do you save yourself from yelling all the time at the office?
I think you need to start by letting that information about what's the difference and how do you differentiate work from fun since the inception of their work with Jovago. You communicate that with that from beginning, but also you don't let these problems escalate, because the moment a manager or CEO has to shout at his people, that's probably already too late. If you're able to work with your people closely, set up goals not quarterly, not only monthly, but also weekly and even daily, then whenever something is falling apart, you can actually react soon enough to fix the cause of the problem while it's still in the root. In the root of it. I hope my English is proper here.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you say to a boss who's always shouting at the office? Is that proper? Is that the way to go? Is that the way to cultivate a conducive working environment?
What would I say to a boss that is shouting at the office?
Shouting. Yes.
I think he should first ask himself a question: what makes him go flip out so often? My first guess would be that he actually does not know how to react in a different way. Maybe he was never taught to do it. Maybe the only way for him to influence his people is by shouting. Probably it's working. Question if it's working in the long term, right?
Oh, well, maybe it's working.
All right, we're going to go on a short break right now. When we come back, we're going to be taking it a step further, where we'll begin to talk about staff productivity, and sometimes expensive even for CEOs to manage a fun work environment, and how you're going to be able to do it in your own case. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Level Plus is now on your mobile format and connects you in real time. You can now watch your favorite programs, episodes, live shows, prayer shows, features, live TV, archived videos, and lots more. You can also participate with your comments and contributions from anywhere in the world. Download on any of your mobile device, whether it's Android or iOS or Windows, the Level Plus mobile app now, and stay connected. Level Plus, totally you.
All right, welcome back, and this is still Business Connect.
Yeah.
We have the CEO of Jovago.com in the house, Marek Zmyslowski, and we're discussing how to make your employees productive at their workplace. Marek, welcome back again. Yes, I have this question for you. I have employees, I have CEOs, because myself and Brian, we talk to business owners week in, week out. And I have this person who is always doing movie timeouts, is always doing this thing that they call movie outing with the whole employees. He's always doing this thing they call team
like
building
party.
exercise.
So it's all
and he doesn't
fun.
get the value for those exercises.
Yeah, no,
Do you encourage that with the team?
He doesn't get the value for it. Well,
He doesn't know why he's doing these things because they're not productive.
No, he read it from a book, probably.
if he spends money on things like that, and he's just trying to cover all the other problems that he has while managing his teams, then it's never going to work. Because if there are some fundamental problems in the way he manages the team, and there are some problems because the people are not working what they like and they just don't want to come back every day to the office, even if you're going to send them 3 times a day to the movie, you're not going to fix the problem. So maybe that's it, but I don't know.
I think from what he just said, I think a fun work environment or all those fun things that people do should be like an addition to
the environment.
an interesting job itself. Yeah. There's a responsibility to create an interesting job for somebody. You know, if the person is excited to come to work. I used to be, when I was an employee, I used to be excited to go to work on Mondays. I didn't understand, you know, all over BBM and all the social media, they would have, Monday, oh no, I'm gonna die, I hate Monday, Monday is here you are again. I used to wish the weekend would finish quickly.
Mm-hmm. All these events, I think that the important things in these events is to, besides the fun work, cool work, I like my position, I like what I'm doing, you need to sometimes get these people together in a different than work environment so they can interact and they can build relations with each other. Right. Because if you talk to someone who likes work, who likes his job, who likes what he's doing, and you're going to ask him why does he like it, and you're going to ask him to tell you 3 things, I can give you my word, one of the things will be I like the people I am working with. And you can only make them like each other when they interact outside work. Many times new people come, old people leave. Whenever new person comes into a group of people that already know each other, it's hard for the new person to blend in. This is why you do all this stuff.
Okay. Now, I know that when we worked at Jovago back in the day, it was not the best of the office. I mean, but it did not reduce our productivity.
In terms of the physical location.
In the terms, it was a pent actually, but we didn't have ACs, Marek.
No ACs. There was a rat trying to steal my sandwich. It's like.
Okay, so but it didn't affect our productivity. And this people, 70% of people who watch us are business owners. Mm-hmm. Some are just starting up, and most of them start from their bedrooms. Some start from their houses. Some of those environments are not the best. But how can they make it productive, like we made Jovago productive?
I would say again, managing by goals and giving independence and responsibility that comes with that. And I think smart people, they are able to appreciate it. Whenever something was not working, I like to think that I listen more than I talk. I just don't want to push whatever I want to push. I tend to listen. And also, again, when you have a team of 20, 50, 80, 100 people, you're out of control. Like, control is not the case anymore. Mm-hmm. The only thing that you're left with is influence. You can influence people. And it's easier to influence people when you make sure that people like what they do. And how to make sure people like what they do, and this works well for the company. You need to be sure what is the goal of each person that works with you. And I think the ultimate responsibility for you as a manager is to align each employee's personal goals, what kind of career he wants to pursue, what kind of skills he wants to develop, which direction he wants to grow into, and just make sure that if he's going to do, even if he's egoistic in the company, he will still grow the company itself. So you were, for example, in the business development team. So I would say people in the business development team, they wanted to develop their B2B skills. They wanted to be in work, they wanted to have a job when they travel a lot, mm-hmm. because they want to travel. They want to meet new people. They just don't want to sit in the office, and they want to develop their skills, their sales skills, their telesales skills, and soft skills. Yeah. So they were developing their own skills. They were achieving their own goals. But by the way, while doing that, they were doing stuff for Jovago, and that's exactly what we needed from them.
Okay, so now you just spoke about some very personal things, having the employee's career goals set out and helping him to achieve his career goals while working. Mm-hmm. Don't you think that's so personal? Knowing the kind of kids I want to raise, knowing what I want to achieve in 2-3 years. Do you think that's personal, or you think it's very important to recruitment?
I think it's crucial.
Very crucial. So if I come today, you sit down with me and you want to know where I want to be in another 5 years.
Yeah, of course.
And I will add to it from another perspective. Every time I talk to someone, when I recruit people, when they come for job interviews, I ask them, you have this cool job, you've been doing this for the last couple months, last couple years in that particular company. Why do you want to move? And they tell you, because I feel like I've learned all the things I've learned, I could learn in that particular company, and I want to move on. So whenever someone changes job and you're able to hire that particular talent, you realize that the company was not able to provide him a way of achieving his personal goals. This is why people leave.
Right.
So as much as possible, the personal goals, and that's what you check out when you're trying to recruit. Does your personal goals fit what we're doing here? I always talk about the company where I worked. Every single one of us really were all about, because the company was all about creating opportunities for employment for people, trying to solve the unemployment problem in Africa. And every single one of us was really passionate about that. And interestingly, now that like almost 80% of that entire team is out of that company now, we are all in different places doing the same things that we're doing.
Yeah, just a different company.
Exactly. Just
So while you were at that company, your personal goal was not met?
No, that's not the point. My personal goal and the company goal aligned, and that's why we enjoyed work.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
And if you want to get your people to enjoy work, it's important that you get people whose personal goals align with your own company goals. I think that's the ultimate recruitment advice from Marek himself. Okay, now let's look at the advantages of creating the kind of work environment that you have in Jovago and its impact on your ability to attract top talent. You see, a lot of businesses find it difficult to attract great guys, especially SMEs. They think, these guys don't want to work for me, they don't want to carry my name, they don't want to represent me, but you have people who are very excited about being Jovago staff. So tell us about how you are able to attract top talent.
It is an issue in Nigeria. When you ask young, ambitious people, smart people what they want to do while they are still at the university, of course, plenty of them will say, I want to be an entrepreneur, because Nigeria is a very entrepreneurial country. But many times they will say, I just want to work in a big corporation like oil and gas, banks, etc., because that gives you some sort of a stability. I think many times people don't like to go to an SME because they are afraid that something may go wrong with the company. I think if you ask someone why they don't want to work with that SME, why they prefer to go to a bank or to an oil and gas or any other big company. I think what attracts people to Jovago mostly is the opportunity of growing. Because if we launched 2 years ago and there was me and 2 other guys, and now there's 80 of us in the office, obviously people need to grow with the company, otherwise the company will not grow at all. So many people that started with me as customer service expert or sales executive, right now they are managing their own teams. So as long as you give the opportunity for people to grow, and also getting promoted and maybe earning a little bit more, because this is very important for everyone, then they will stay and they will let their friends know. We recruit mostly based on recommendations. Whenever I have an open position, I don't go to some Nigerian websites or I don't buy an advertisement on a newspaper. I ask my employees, do you have any friends? Because great people attract great people.
Exactly.
Talent also have talented friends. Smart people also have smart friends. And I publish on our social media. So I want to spread the word among people that already know me for some reasons. And then the recruitment is easier because there's already a connection. Some people can already give you that background check I mentioned before.
Yes.
So attracting talents actually means finding them before someone else finds them. Because if someone is smart, hardworking, and has other values you're looking for, probably he's not looking for a job.
Exactly, exactly. The job is looking for that person. Let's throw in this last question. Now, you seem to have a fun work environment, and you seem to also be a fun personality. Have you ever had a staff try to take advantage of that? Take advantage of your personality and therefore not work, but the person is not expecting you to call him or her out for not working. Have you ever had that situation, and how did you deal with it?
Yeah, I had that situation when I had one of my first companies in Poland. I actually hired my friend that was my friend way before. And then we had issues whenever I was really demanding from him in terms of delivering of the goals we both agreed on. And whenever something was not working properly and I needed to show him that, okay, fun is fun, but now we are working and something needs to be changed, that's when the issues raised. Here in Nigeria, it hasn't happened so far, because I've learned as well, and I've gotten mature. That
experience.
I think that you should have fun with your employees, but it cannot have too much fun. But when things like that happen, when people try to take advantage of you, you need to react as soon as possible, before the case gets serious. And there's